Hey, make sure you hit that like and subscribe. We're trying to get that 1K action. Here we go on the Interlude 3. Before we go any other upgrades, seems that this is going to be very important. Let's find out what it is, shall we? And by the way, we're now live streaming in 5 different locations, so you can't get lost anymore. And if you got any question, don't forget to don't hesitate and like, comment, and subscribe. And let me know if you're enjoying it or not. その光を夢を、その光を夢見ていた。I was dreaming about that light. It was a light that was never boring, no matter how many times or how long you stared at it. いくら思っても褪せない光だった。It says it was a light that no matter how you thought and how you think or its thought process it may be, it never changed nor wavered. But for some odd reason, everyone else said it like this. You can't do it. It's impossible for you. You won't be able to reach it. You're not allowed. Yep. That's who we are. We are born here. We will be raised here. And we will perish here. That's what we knew from the very beginning. I thought we knew this right off the get-go, right when we were born. Right when we thought, right when we had conscience. I thought we knew that as much as we hated it. We thought that we are that exact existence that has been foretold and been described. どうして諦めねばならない? So somebody specifically says, why do we have to give up? 吠えた。全身全霊で。It says, so I yelled, screamed, cried out loud with my entire body and my entire saint graph, my spirit, my soul. I tried to fight back. Everybody tells me that you should have known this by now. Everybody says the same thing as if they were to push me down and bully me. They would say the same thing in unison. Stop messing around with me. Why would I be satisfied or acknowledged to this unfairness? Look. I will not forget it ever. And nor will I ever give up on this task. After all, that star, it's always there. It's always within our sight. You all might have forgotten what it exactly may be, but I was constantly following through that glistening light as... Is that Odyssey? So you've awakened. You're still here, aren't you? Well, now that you mentioned it, to be perfectly honest with you, I don't know the way back. I don't know the way back home. Don't worry. I'm used to bumming off of people's location. Don't worry about it. I'm used to staying in other people's places without permission. Isn't that problematic for me, especially? Isn't that something that I have to worry about? Eh. Technically, I can go outside and sleep in the wilderness, but if I do that, my clothes are gonna get dirty, so I don't want to do that. And besides, can I ask one thing? If I can answer your demand. Now that I've reminded myself, I think I've gotten who you are exactly. Isn't your real name Sabagios or something like that? Why do you ask? I don't know. I suppose you can call it an instinct. That's all. Because back in the... Oh my god, it is hinting Toko. What the fuck? It's just a mere instinct. After all, at the back of the day, I used to be in an office that has to do with puppeteering a lot, in and out, you see. I'm pretty sure she was talking, she was talking out of her ass to try to cure her of her own boredom. But every so often I visit her, she would talk things about magic or, divine tales and, folklores and, stories of the gods. She would just keep on yapping. こっちもほとんどは右耳から左の耳だったんだが、ごくたまには興味を浮かれるものもあった。This is most of the time I let it in one ear and out the other. However, just rarely, so rarely, I did have interest in certain topics and whatnot. I wanted to know more about the gods that disappeared. Practically so. 現代ではその内密が不明になった神。Especially during the modern day era. The gods that lost their identity and lost themselves essentially and disappeared. Continue. From what I've heard, Sabagios is a god that was very popular among the Furigua. Apparently the followers and believers quite the amount of trust had in you, right? Even though when it comes to the actual inside of the god, its interest was mild, but it still left multiple legends and stories that continue throughout the modern age. Like, for instance, the Sabagios' temple and Gorudias' Musubime. So the temple of Sabagios. Christian Clement of Alexandria had been informed that the secret mystery of Sabazius, as practiced among the Romans, involved a serpent and a thicnotic creature unconnected with the mounted sky god of Hygeria, god in the bosom, is a countersign of the mysteries of Sabazius to the adepts. This is a snake passed through a bosom of the initiates. Naturally, a synthetic approach. Later Greeks writer Strabo, 1st century. Mystery attended Dionysus. Interpreter. Okay. Among the Roman inscription, generally equated to Jove and mentioned alongside with Mercury. He is also associated with Zeus on a marble slab. How peculiar. Who attended the battles of Amazon. The Temple of the Lazarus Bull. Saba's relationship with the goddess may be summarized in ways that his horse placed a hoof on the head of the bull in Roman, the Boston Museum of Fine Arts, though the Roman and day iconic image is much earlier. What is the Temple of Sabagios and Gorudeus' Musubibe? That's what I need to figure out. The Temple of Sabaji. A shrine of Sabagios, which is in Atlantic Italy. Sabagios temples are now commonly documented. The cult variation of non-black of the sea. They depicted the Jupiter. Furthermore, stone fragments of the temple. Small Vitus hands, often made of copper or bronze, are also associated with the cult. The shrine, exclusively believed to dedicated with Jupiter, a god associated with Mithridates, has a museum, a type of shrine dedicated a figure shared iconic. The House of Feminist Ability, believed to have been remodeled using the worship of Sabazius, according to a video presented by the project. 7,000-year-old ancient sanctuary of is believed to be Sabazius Temple, where Alexander the Great was told that he would conquer the world. That I need to know the sanctuary of Percoton in Bulgaria, because it's believed to be Sabagios' temple, and from that Sabagios' temple, that's where the war chariot was obtained. That's what the story is telling me in FGO. Bum, bum, bum. By the way, this OST is pretty lit. Alright, anyway, sorry. 例えば、ゼウス、サバジオスなんてローマで歌われた陽光の合唱の詩をSo, like, for instance, so Shiki kind of got, you know, Shiki's like, I know who you are. Easy. For an instance, you might be Zeus Sabagios, aka Roman mixture of essentially a god combination. And you must have the Sabagios' hand, which is right there. Which is the red one right there, this one. They're specifically saying that that must be the hand of Sabagios. AKA the Thanos globe, if you actually see it in game. Dots. I like how Odysseus' altar does not quote. The whole red situation reminds me of Elden Ring. Oh, trust me, it's 100% influenced by Elden Ring. Listen, these guys love to play games, and these guys love to talk about stories of video games. So him getting influenced by Elden Ring would not be surprising. あいつはこんな風に言ってたっけな? So, あいつ, aka a puppeteer, aka that's actually Toko. Toko said this exactly. サバージオスがもともとどんな神だったのか、現代の私たちにももはや知る実はがない。Says, we do not know exactly who the god was actually Sabagios. Modern people like us don't have a way, technique, method, or capability to understand it. It says, as the ages passes by, many different cults and religious figures and practices all jumbled up together that it has lost its former actual body of its original form. All we know, the biggest hint out of all of them, that it was a god that had a specific special hand. That's all I know. ねえ、シキ、サバージオスの手というのはね、蛇だが、トカゲだが、とかライオンだが、松ぼっくりだとか。It says, Shiki, understand that Sabagios' hand has many different things. Sabagios' hand has many things as follows, aka a snake, aka a lizard, aka a lion, and many different things, including matsubokuri. Matsubokuri is like acorns, or what do you call those? It's the it's not acorns, it's the evergreen ones. It's the prickly shit. It's the thing that got like 5 million skirts. I can't remember what it's called. But essentially, there's a many different variation to it, right? It looks like a scepter. Some of them looks like a scepter. Some of them look like a penis. It is what it is. Yeah, there's got many different symbolism all gathered into one hand. It is an icon that specifically has a hand as an importance. 花や果実の組み合わせで人間の顔を描いたアーチボルトの絵のようにね。So it says its distinction is clear as day, just like a pictures and painting of Archibald, of able to create human faces utilizing the combination technique of both flowers and fruits. So is that what you're telling me? That is who I am? You hate lying, don't you? And you suck at telling lies. You're always good at hiding the most detailed things. As I understand, the draconic mechanical body was stolen because of that hand. That's easy to understand. And so with the conversation we just had beforehand, I come to the conclusion, or a thought process. It says there might be a reason why there's a symbolism of Sabagios' hands depicting that it was a god that stole all those existence labeled in its fingertips. Essentially, Shiki came to the conclusion that because he was able to he was able to steal the mechanical dragon, and because Sabagios have a lot of symbolism in its hands, the reason why it has symbolism of his hands is because it's a trophy of what it was able to steal, or what it was able to take over under its control. And then, yeah, simultaneously, all of this, Ryogi Shiki specifically says, first and foremost, most of this is all just instinct. This is just my guess. Shiki was always good at guessing shit. 理屈のない感じ、理屈のない勘が一番怖いな。It says an instinct, a thought process, a guess with no logical lyrics or logical hand is the most scariest of them all. Oh, so he did acknowledge it. Indeed, and I will acknowledge it. I am Sabagios, the divine spirit. So, someone like you, Mr. Divine Spirit, why are you trying to obtain Typhon so badly? I suppose you can call me a divine spirit, but however, in the modern age of the eras, it seems it has no meaning whatsoever. All I wanted to do is finish what it needs to start. That's all. It was of quite a coincidence, I assure you, but the alignment of my objective worked out with the pure blood dragon Typhon works too well and aligned to my goal. 目をつぶってなかったことにできるほど俺はできた神ではないんだな。It says, unfortunately, I need to use everything that I can as possible. I'm not a super capable of quote-unquote God, divine spirit, that can close its eye of arrogance. So it's essentially Sabagios is saying that I'm not arrogant, I can't be arrogant, I'm not stupid, I'm not all-powerful enough to overlook things, because he's essentially, even though he's a divine spirit, he's a forgotten divine spirit, and so he's weak. He's kind of forgotten. He's kind of weak, so he doesn't have like the power of belief system that the humanity has to like make him OP. But he's still divine spirit, so he's still rough to handle, right? But he's not as powerful as like the mechanical gods. So Sabagios is saying that sorry that I'm not a arrogant or all-powerful god that has capability to have pride, right? Sabagios is saying practically I'll use whatever I can to achieve my goal as necessary. So simultaneously, at this rate, I found another method. I found out another method as well, and another possibility. Another method? What do you mean by that? 得意点の聖杯は単なる通常単なる魔力のリソースだ。奇抜な魔力を使い道はあるがそれだけだ。だが魔力リソースではなく願望の願い機能としての聖杯が手に入れるのならば俺の願いが本当に叶えられるかもしれないからだ。なるほど。つまりまだカルディアと戦うつもりのか。So, the reason why Sabagios is currently fighting is that he's not trying to get the Singularity Holy Grail anymore. He's trying to get Itis. He's trying to get the quote-unquote the Holy Grail, Heaven's Feel, aka the Grail that is all-powerful and wish-granting, right? It's a all-powerful wish-granting Grail instead of a regular clump of super-powerful magical Grail. So Sabagios has changed its objective from obtaining a regular Grail to try to obtain Iris. That's what essentially Sabagios has said. It says, in the Special Singularity, Holy Grail is nothing more than a simplified magical resource clump that looks like the Holy Grail. Abundant amount of magical energy will definitely have a way to use it, but it's just a clump of magical energy, that is all. However, not a clump of magical energy, but a all-powerful Grail, wishing Grail functionality Holy Grail can be obtained by my hand. That means that my dreams, that my wish would truly come into fruition once more. And then Shiki answers, I see. That means you're going to fight with Karudea more? Is that true? Indeed, that is the plan. お前のタイフォンの修理機能があるようだし、なあ、万全かつ全力でやれば勝てるって見込みか? I says, it seems that your Typhon has a auto repair capability after all. Are you hoping to wait it out to fully restore your strength once more? Do you think you have a chance to win? いや、そっちはそうじゃない。というより、こっちの勝ち目がない。No, to be perfectly honest, the problem is not that factor. In actuality, I don't have a method of victory at all. 何? あれだけの速度で修理をして願望機が現れ、さらにカルデアの賢者もついているのだと。It says with able to fast repair on the double, simultaneously a granting grail, the wishing grail mechanical mechanism came out of nowhere. Simultaneously, there are multiple sages in Karudea. こちらのタイフォンの修理が終わるまでには向こうは強化に取り掛かっているはずだ。By the time the repair is finished on my Typhon fully, they would have already powered up and upgraded their weapon twofold. It says, then if that's the case, an arms race, aka the problem would become the efficiency and speed of both of us evolving. To be perfectly honest with you, I do not have the capability to overcome them or aka speed up compared to them whatsoever. じゃあ諦めるのか? It says, then if that's the case, are you going to give up then? Who said anything about that? 進化の速度は向こうが速いだろうとも。俺は追いつけない。もう勝ち目はあるまい。 This is when it comes to the speed of evolution and efficiency. I am certain that the Karudea side is more powerful than I can ever imagine. I will never able to catch up with them anymore. There is no winning in that aspect of battle. That, ただそれだけのことだ. That is just simple facts. この程度のこと、やりようはいくらでもあるさ。あ、悪あがきなら。It says a simple truth like that. There are many ways to take care of such problems. Yes, I'm going to struggle to the very end. And if I were to be more desperate, I would... Oh, what's happening, Sabagios? What's wrong, brother? Sabagios, what's wrong? こんな、これぐらいで. And says, with this, just a mere this? What's happening? Yo, why are you disappearing, Odyssey? Yo. Oh, damn, he's panting? Yo, Odyssey kind of disappearing. Yo. He is at his limits. Yappari, omae. It says, I knew it. So you're already... What? Nanda. お前とタイフォンニオス、ずいぶん不自然な存在なんじゃないんか? It says, you and Typhon Neos, you two existence is very unnatural. No, I suppose unnatural doesn't involve, does not equate to just you two. That Typhon Ephemerosu, the epsilon that you were speaking of, I suppose, dots. お前の話を聞いて考えたんだ. Because you opened your mouth, I started to think a little more. どうしてもう一人のタイフォンを破壊しなきゃいけないのかも. And because of that, it got me thinking of why the other Typhon needs to get deleted or destroyed. あいつらもタイフォンもどちらかしか存在できないんじゃ. Does that mean that the Typhons, one or the other, is capable of surviving, right? Oh no, we gotta choose, chat. Unless they fusion and become a green hair. We won't be, so it's essentially, your girl Shiki, aka Rogi Shiki, female form, specifically stated that, yeah, Typhon versus Epsilon, only one can survive in the very end. 大抵の場合、こういうルールは得意点だけ、意外除外らしいな。It says, but however, in this singularity, right, in the rule of this singularity, that is always the irregularity rule that gets played at hand. But right when you get out of the singularity, that special treatment gets negated and stripped out. So it's essentially the reason why two can exist is because of the singularity's bullshit ex machina factor. But when you get out of the singularity, that rule gets voided and one or the other will be the only one getting extracted back to the throne / Karudea. Meaning that it's the El Classic, there can only be one. お前の場合、そんなタイフォンネオスとつまずいでいるか、それとも別の。In your case, is it because you're tied to that Typhon Neos you're wearing thin, or something else entirely? Done. Okay, meanwhile. Uh-oh, Epsilon. Epsilon not feeling too hot either. What's wrong, Epsilon? Nothing at all. I just didn't feel too bad, you see. I suppose you're my copy of a uselessness that's not carbon. At least, I suppose you're not a one-to-one copy of me, so you're a defect. Here, take my hand. What? It says, うずくまっているぐらいだったら、私の手を握ればいいんじゃない? It says, if you're feeling sick and lonely or scared, you can just hold on to my hand and squeeze it if necessary. Thanks, big sis. Tsundere. So, are you gonna call me big sis forever or something? Aren't you my big sis? Right? Or can I not call you that? I didn't tell you to stop calling me that, okay? Hehehe. Thanks. I'm very happy. Very happy, like a lifetime worth, you know? Yeah, she remember, that's the brain of Typhon Neos. So if Typhon Neos is dying, technically Typhon Neos's brain is also dying. And the Typhon Neos that's been taken over by Odyssey, aka Zabagios, is also dying. Everybody's dying. Low key. Everybody and their mom is dying. All right. Thank you guys so much for coming. Thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. If you got any questions, make sure you comment down below and make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. Peace. See you in the next video. Bye.